What's up, guys? It's your boy Zion, and I'm bringing another Destiny video. In this one, I wanted to talk a little bit about the update that came to Destiny 2 days ago to get us ready for Rise of Iron, and with it came a lot of weapon balances. However, with these weapon balances, they changed the meta, especially in Crucible, a little bit. If we want to go ahead and look at the really important ones, they basically changed how pulse rifles work. So they increased the rate of fire for Hake pulse rifles like the Lion Meta, and they increased damage for middle rate of fire pulse rifles like Nerwin's Mercy by 2%. So nothing crazy. They just tried to bring a couple of the lower end pulse rifles up to be usable. And then with sniper rifles, they went ahead and reduced the damage on middle to high impact rifles like the 1,000-yard stare by 6.95%, which is a pretty big change when you're talking percentages of total damage. So it brings it down a little bit, but it's just enough where it might add some variety to the game. And it basically makes it so you can't reliably one-shot high armor guardians, especially when they're in their super. So this also goes for when you're rezzing people in elimination game modes, and when you have like Sunsinger Warlock self-rezzing, it kind of brings them back in elimination game modes, because before they were useless. People would just camp your ghost and one-shot you when you respawned. So good changes all around. This doesn't affect the No Land Beyond, so that's a good thing to keep in mind. If you're really good with the No Land Beyond, you can still destroy people right off respawns and destroy Sunsingers when they self-res. But it also reduced target acquisition for guns like the LDR and longbow synthesis, just to make them be in line with other sniper rifles, because they had a slight advantage over everything else and were the things people were seeking out more than anything. They also increased how much you flinch. They brought flinch back into it, because before you could kind of just sit there and eat bullets and you could still stay kind of on target. Now they made it so when you flinch, instead of starting at 30% and working your way to 100%, you now start at 50% and work to 100%. So you flinch more, and then they go ahead and have an increased multiplier. So you start getting to 100% faster, meaning your flinch is going to be crazy hard to keep on target when you're getting shot from a distance. So all around good changes. They even went ahead and fixed an issue with the Irene showing incorrect rate of fire stats. But with that, hopefully this speeds up the Crucible, because it kind of slowed down gameplay and didn't really help. It made people not want to play Crucible because it wasn't fast-paced and exciting. It was sit back with a sniper and get a kill. So good changes all around. I do think they're going to be a lot of fun to see how they work out. But if we go ahead and keep going further into this, they did a couple exotic tweaks that were really important. Mind you, I'm skipping over a lot of the weapon tweaks and a lot of the information in the patch notes just for the important stuff. So the universal remote, which ran the Crucible, it's one of those exotics that if you had it, it was ridiculous in the Crucible. You could destroy people because you could shotty snipe. So you could play fast and destroy with a max range shotgun as your primary, and then in the situations where you had to be in a long gunfight, you could pull out your LDR or your longbow and absolutely destroy people from a distance. It was the perfect combination. And so they nerfed the universal remote. Its range bonus was reduced by 75%. There's no longer a guarantees maximum shotgun range in its perk at all. You don't get that. It got nerfed to the ground. They also increased the rate of fire, but they went ahead and decreased its damage as a secondary effect of decrease or increasing its rate of fire. So it kind of nerfed the universal remote into the ground. It'll be interesting to see how people go ahead and react with this. Plus, they went ahead and tweaked the Thorn, so they reduced the base damage, the base range of the Thorn by 25%, which also kind of reduces how viable it is in the Crucible. You can't hit people from across the map, which is actually really good, especially since it's coming back with the Rise of Iron and going to be a max light level gun once you go ahead and grind it out. Plus, there's a touch of malice, which isn't very important. I don't think it'll be used much in the new DLC, but for current trying to go ahead and grind out for your max light level and get geared up for the new Rise of Iron, it has a weird change. So the Touch of Malice's self-damage infliction removes Blessing of Light now. Now, if you guys don't jump to the conclusion I did, if it completely removes Blessing of Light, when you go into the Oryx raid and try to do the 2 Titan strat, where you drop Blessing Light bubbles and use Touch of Malice to go ahead and melt the ogres, while everyone else worries about their knights and pillars, if the Touch of Malice inflicts damage on you, it removes the blessing. So it makes it so you can't use this strategy because you no longer have the armor and you're going to be taking damage and unable to melt the ogres with the Touch of Malice. So it makes a very weird combination where now you have to figure something else out and dedicate people to ogres using other weapons, and you can't kill them as quickly. So really interesting change on the Touch of Malice, but besides that, there's nothing else really drastic in these changes as far as like weapon balancing or random tweaks to anything else. They didn't go ahead and add any public events, which a lot of people were looking forward to. They were looking for something like the Sword Knights spawning in the Cosmodrome. They were looking for something like that, and they didn't add anything like that if you were hoping on it. But that's going to be the end of this video, guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, a comment, a favorite, and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you guys later. Peace!